Hi everybody, welcome to this video. This is Place for Plushies and I'm here with two adorable plushies. First of all, I have my Sonic here. This is one of the very first Sonics that I ever got, but people from the USA probably know this Sonic very well. And then here's Bolt, which I have been having for at least 15 years now. In this packages, you're gonna actually have a look at the exact same plushies, but in a pretty unknown condition. So yeah, well, I don't really, I know on eBay usually you know exactly what condition they are, but here not necessarily. And I was very bored, and I felt like just giving them a bit of a makeover. So I got these two. The first one here, Sonic, is pretty much exactly the same as the one I'm holding here, just that he was for like $3, and he was in bad condition. That I could see his legs were completely empty. So I decided to take him and see what I could actually do for him. And there is Bolt. And Bolt is already opened, but I still have to do all of it. And this is going to be the big Bolt. That is the one that I've been having for so long. And there's also a bigger version of him. And he is usually actually considered as a little more rare. Even though, well, you can pay $100 for him on eBay, or you can just buy him for $7 off Vinted. That's just what I did. So, yeah. Never managed to find the 30-inch exclusive lying down one. But I'm glad I could find this one, and at first I wasn't quite interested. But what we're gonna do is see if I can just stuff the little guy and wash him maybe, if necessary. And that way it might just be a great, nice size Bolt plushie, which I love very much since it looks so much like my dog. So this is what I'm gonna do. Sometimes it's just nice to realize that we can give plushies a nice makeover. So we're gonna open them and see in what condition they are. The first we're gonna have a look at is Bolt. What I always thought was a little too bad on this plushie was the shade of white of his fur. I thought it was too much of a bit of a gray. He always looks dirty, I don't know. And I tried to wash him one day, and his nose was decoloring. Actually, the nose was fading. So I took him out of the water immediately, and apparently there's not much left of the damage that I did that day. But yeah, luckily he's just fine. I had him restuffed, so as you can see, I gave him a makeover as well, because I really enjoy this plushie very much. Love his ears too. And since Bolt plushies are quite close to my own dog, when I saw this one, I decided actually to have him, especially considering the low price he was. At first I wasn't quite sure I would actually have him, but I want to enjoy myself with giving him a makeover and making him look like my dog. So I thought, why not, actually. Next day was still available. This guy's got cardboards in his ears. We gotta see what we can do for him. Alright, here he is. Yay, let me have a look. I don't know if I can really improve his condition, if I can make him look a little more clean. It's just that I have to brush him a little bit and give him a nice shape. And stuff him, definitely stuff him. Because all of his tail too. Oh, he looks so much like Avia. Yeah, Bolt is pretty much the closest thing that I can find that looks like my dog. The Arctic foxes are nice too, but they look so much like, like a fox. I hope I can do something for his ears as well, but I will have to check with my both hands. There's also a Bolt who actually holds a carrot, and that's also a rare one. And then you have the collar here, which has been reattached because obviously it was damaged. What I'm gonna do, I think, is gonna remove his collar. this collar, we're gonna take it off, and I'm just gonna keep the little tag, and I'm gonna just place a new collar through the tag. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I wish I could keep the collar on, but it has been damaged, obviously. So this, I don't know exactly what happened here. Is the loop wide enough? I have to see for a nice little collar for him. So as you can see, the legs are quite, yeah. We're gonna stuff those legs. We're gonna make him look like, because here the tummy and, yeah, and that's the problem that these plushies have. They have, see, mine is a little more firm. That's what I actually did. I opened him here in the tummy. And I wasn't quite sure in the beginning it was a good idea. But eventually, see, I'm still enjoying this plush. And the legs and the tummy got a little more stuffed. The collar of mine always was in good condition. But my grandmother, who passed away, unfortunately, sewed his tag back for me because his tag fell off. And so obviously, as you can see, this plushie has been going through a few things. But he's still here, so it's incredible how much I eventually love him. Oh, I've been having this plush for so long. And I actually I was planning on enjoying this one as much as I could. So I'm just gonna do some sewing work on him. You might actually consider washing the plush first, because adding stuffing and then wash him might actually make the plush even heavier, which just increases the load for the stitches, which might not necessarily hold on, it might actually just break. So just take that in consideration if you want to clean this plushie, if you want to clean a plushie like this, especially because they're quite big. I hope his ears will look nice too. Might actually see if I can stuff his ears a little bit. But there you go, because his ears look, yeah, they always look rather like, now they kind of look like they should be like, yeah, you know, like this. See? They look like Labrador ears. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with this plush. Actually planning on really enjoying him. Yeah, this plush is no longer for sale, of course. But this is just a great Bolt plushie. Big, great guy. But he really, indeed needs a bit of attention. See here the legs. He's got, let me feel this. He's got, yeah, he's got some beans in here. Yeah, and those legs are quite, yeah, indeed. We're gonna need stuffing, but I have everything I need. Oh, look at the tail. Oh my god, I love the tail. The tail is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Look, it's a big Atja tail. There you go. Bolt, glad he came. He took a long time to come. So, there you go. After having a look at Bolt, let's have a look at Sonic. I'm just gonna show you this quickly. Look, the little put a nice bow around him. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm gonna be able to remove the plushie from the packaging with one hand. Look. I think my camera has another focus problem. Yes, it worked. Alright, now let's remove box and packagings. Let me have a look at this guy. So he has very jelly arms. His head looks quite okay. Look, it's pretty much the same Sonic as this guy. It's just that this little guy has a bit of other color and is in a better condition. But yeah, this is exactly what I noticed for the legs. I think the Sonic will be less work than Bolt. I'm really glad actually I found this guy. He was like €3, I believe. And it's kind of ridiculous, but I felt like adopting this little guy and try to improve his condition a little bit. And I would definitely love him. So this is one of the Sonic plushies that I definitely keep, just like this guy. And I'm glad I can receive this one and maybe just do something for him and do something about, well, so this is what I noticed you need on the picture, the legs. But we can easily stuff them. I don't know what happened. We can also reattach the socks. And also the buckles. We can just place them back. Because this plushie requires a little bit of attention, but it's not that it's in very bad condition. I'm just gonna brush him as well, groom him a little bit. Doesn't really have a bad smell either. Can always wash him if I want to. So Sonic is quite much like expected, because I had no idea actually how Bolt would be. Well, pretty much, yeah, Bolt requires a little bit of attention, but Sonic is not that bad. And I will definitely hug this one really bad. I have one in new condition as well, so, but I will definitely take care of this guy and see if I can do something for him. We're gonna do something, well, I'm gonna do my best to do something for his arms, here as well, and then the legs, but I'm afraid I might have to open him on some places, like, for example, the legs. I have to think about it a little bit, see how I can open him up a little to reach his legs, because you have to reach this leg. I also have to reach this one. So maybe open him from the crotch, but maybe even that might actually turn out quite difficult. Open up his groin here, and I still have to consider what might be the smartest idea. But yeah, glad he's here. Glad he's here. He's a cutie and he will be well taken care of. I don't really know exactly what happened to this poor guy, but he's adorable and he's loved. So, not quite sure if washing him would be necessary. Maybe later. Some things will be quickly done. So there you go. This is what I would like to do. I might just show you those plushies after their makeovers. What I can do to make them look better. To make them look, yeah, in a better condition. So this is Sonic. And here we are, a few hours later. I had a look at Sonic because he was actually the less damaged plushie, or the plushie that actually required less time. I'm gonna say it that way. And as you can see, he looks much better now. So his legs are perfectly fine again. And I also tried to fix his hand, but I don't know how long this will last. Because this is the very first time that I did this with fingers. I might just try again. I'm sure it's actually not that difficult. I had some trouble with the first finger. The two others seem to be better, even though apparently I made a little mistake here. Anyway, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad for a first time. So yeah, I tried. I have been stuffing his arms. So yeah, I went through the crotch. I know it's kind of gross to say. He got neutered. And what I actually did, I made an opening here. And I pushed up all the stuffing from his belly and his chest up his head, just to fill up his quills a little bit more. This quill didn't get any more stuffing because I couldn't really reach from this point, but there you go. So the quills, the back quills and the quills on the head got some more stuffing, and his head just got a little more voluminous. His head got a little bigger because of this, because I almost placed all the stuffing from his chest in the head, and then I kept some stuffing here to stuff his arms, and then I filled up until here, and then I did the legs, and I had to sew him back. But as you can see, he was torn here, here, and here. And I repaired it. So it's actually first I repaired here. And I skipped a little part here, and I continued like this. And then all I had to do was just finish the leg here. So I know it's quite visible, but it's really not bad. It's really beautifully done for work that's done by me. So there you go. So this is what Sonic looks like. He's much better now. He's a little heavier. He looks great. I think, and I groomed him a little bit. So there's a big difference with how he was. So his arm is much more muscular now here too, and especially the legs. I've enjoyed grooming his fur a little bit, so I'm so glad he turned out so well. Look at this beautiful Sonic now. Isn't he just great? And I really enjoyed just improving his condition a little bit. I love it very much. So there you go. Bolt will be for tomorrow because it's getting late and I'm gonna go to bed. But yeah, put this little bracelet around him. Yay! Also, I did a little attachment on his gloves here as well as the socks. So normally they should move upwards anymore. What's nice about this plushie is that it was actually he required some attention, but it wasn't really in bad condition. So I'm glad he's just well now. And yes, isn't this exciting? Here is Bolt. So we are the next day, and I decided to get to work with Bolt a little bit. And I have to say, I'm really glad I did. I was really looking forward to doing this. And after a very good night's sleep, I gave it a little thought as well, because sometimes you have to think this over a little. And just like for Sonic, actually, I decided to change Bolt's head a little bit. So I pushed the stuffing upwards, and just to make Bolt's head look a little less squashed, in order to have his ears shaping nicely on his head, because his ears were quite like rabbit ears, and they still look like little butterflies, but the thing is that his head was a little too narrow, and now, yeah, I just wanted the ears to be more like here. So by just stuffing the head a little more, he looks more like a dog now. His head looks better, and that way his ears would just take a much better position up there. So That's the first thing I did. I actually opened him here on the belly. I sewed him, and now as you can see, he's much more stuffed. He's, yeah, with one hand he's almost difficult to lift because he's much more stuffed now. I even stuffed his tail a little. Thought the tail was good, but I decided to give it a little more stuffing too. So he's pretty much like the smaller one I have now. On my smaller one, the ears just look gorgeous, but on this one, it's not exactly the same, unfortunately. I thought I could actually correct this, but I was a little wrong. But the ears are not bad at all. They don't look bad at all. It's a good job. It's a good job. I didn't wash him because, by experience, I can tell you, this plush isn't getting any whiter. Yeah, no, I know the shade of white is a little gray. Well, the plush always kind of sort of looks dirty. I think so. But maybe this material is not the best quality. So there you go. He's, yeah, making him stand is still difficult. So he will be holding himself up like in this sitting-like position, which is not bad. Making him stand just requires much more stuffing and maybe even wires, because with such a big head, it's gonna be hard to make him stand up straight without falling forward. So glad to see that his transfer here is really good. I groomed him, and one of the very first things I actually did, I replaced his collar. So I gave him a brown fabric collar, one that's actually meant for real dogs, that I've been collecting. Yeah, I purchased collars in different colors back in the time. They were meant for puppies, I believe, and these more like for middle-sized dogs. And I still had the brown one here, and he was just perfect for Bolt. I cut away his collar. Glad that this one just fits perfectly. It was a little tighter when his neck was more empty, but I just tried on the collar first on him before trying anything else to see if this collar might just be suitable on him. And if this collar was actually an option, I took away the tag and I just shoved it up the collar. And the collar is just the right size for him. Look, it's the last hole, but the collar has a really nice shape, and it's perfect for him. So it's the perfect Bolt collar. Couldn't find a better one anywhere else. So this is perfect. It's just nice that you are able to just fix up plushies while having the material right in the house. So that's so easy. The ears. Yeah, I know. I made a little incision here. I cut it open, and I stuffed his ears a little bit. I have been trying several ways. I mean, as you can see, the cardboard is still here. I thought I would actually cut it away, but I didn't. And I just filled up behind the cardboard. At first, I filled up here as well, but I tried several things for the ears. I decided to have them slightly stuffed as well. Not firmly, but slightly. They are a little squishy now, but that's a good idea. Because those ears, this size, not going to be easy to fix them to stand up straight. They have weird shape here and stuff, so I suppose those big ears look better on smaller plush. But there you go. So this is what I did for Bolt. I don't know which one was the most of work. I suppose Bolt, but honestly, I thought Bolt was done quicker than Sonic. Even though I thought it was the opposite, but there you go. Glad with them. So this is what Bolt looks like. And when you have a look at Sonic, yeah, here he is. I just picked him up from downstairs. So those plushies are just great looking now, I think so. They might be used condition, but I love very much and I enjoy just fixing them up. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed this video as well. And I'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching.